I'm pretty sure if I get enough money on my birthday and it's still selling tickets, I might just freaking
just go.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm pretty down. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah. So hello everybody. This is Ghost in the Craig, and I'm here with my friend Alex, and I wanted to do a second review on Nope, because it's just one of those movies, you watch it and you want other people to watch it. You want to see what other people have to say. And I already said my piece with this film. So we're here and we're just going to kind of add more to it. And my friend here is going to give his take, because I needed someone else's a bit more of a level-headed take on this film, because, me being the black man that I am, it's just hard to rein in these emotions. But you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, my name's Alex, and I didn't hate this movie, but I didn't love it either. I did have favorite moments. I'm very much a concept. I love concepts in movies, so I usually give leeway if a film has a good concept and not a good execution. So this film definitely, I felt, could have been better executed. But man, it had such great sequences.
It had so much potential, but it did have a lot of good scenes here and there that I wish were drowned out. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's not really an alien. It's supposed to be like a monster that this thing is. But in the trailer, like everyone says, it's misleading. It's not an alien. Alex, what do you think? Did you like the creature idea for what it was? I mean, I would have been fine with it staying a UFO, but having it transform like that and be the spectacle that it was.
I loved that idea of it being a monster, a Jaws movie. As soon as I found out that it was eating people, and in the beginning of the film, you hear people's screams
in the sky,
and you're kind of like, why is there screaming that sounds like the wind? Mm-hmm. And you find out that it's because...
I thought it was even like the ship flying, like just as it's flying, it's like screeching, almost.
Listening to the beginning part, it's straight up for me. I heard like people were screaming like if they were on a roller coaster, and I'm like, why is there a carnival going on nearby? Why is there screaming in the wind? And you find out that these people are stuck in this freaking cloud in this epic jumper house, and they can't escape. That's just hearing their cries. It left it to the imagination, and my imagination is wild. So I envision these people infusing like the thing.
Yeah, we had the idea of when they get sucked into this thing, it's like a snake, right? Like it's like you getting sucked into a tube and then slowly just decomposing in this tube for whoever knows how long. But we had the idea of things in Stranger Things and the Upside Down, or The Thing, how monsters have a way of fusing and their skin is getting meshed with each other, or two people getting merged into each other because of the acids or whatever. I mean, melting their bodies together.
The screams were so horrific, it left to the imagination of how it exactly digests. It would have been cool if he played with that and showed some of... But I guess it's also cool to leave to the imagination of people.
Yeah.
I guess for some people it makes it more scary. Yeah,
to not know.
To not know and just leave it for speculation. But in my speculation, I'm like, oh, they're fucking... Yeah, they're getting fused with each other. And it's
they should have really shown that. They should have shown some, instead of the quick scene of them just getting sucked up, they should have shown something, anything. Give us 5 more minutes of the inside of this creature, just its guts and shit, But yeah, that was my main thought when I first saw this, because I was like, what is it? Is it obviously he says it's alive, but it made me just wonder, what were you saying, War of the Worlds, is it something that's is it a hive of something? Are there more of them? Is it the king of all of them, or is it a messenger? Foot soldier?
No, yeah, I love the mystique. I like it being like a cloud. I love the way it moves. like everything about the monster, I was all for it being a monster, and I was excited for it to be kind of like a Jaws movie, but with a cloud. But
and a lot of people said that, like, oh, it made me afraid of the sky.
And so I think if it was straight up a monster movie, and you know how we talked about the intro being like maybe there's like storm chasers who are like into chasing twisters, and they see this thing in the sky and they're like, oh, they question what it is. Like if it was more of a discovery thing and more of like...
So the intro of this film, we'll start getting into the film now. I just wanted to discuss that monster, but yeah, the intro scene of this film is like the monkey attack. It's like this sitcom of Gordy, the chimp, some chimp in this 90s sitcom show, and it's just like the monkeys after effect of like killing everybody pretty much, and it just kind of looks at the screen. And I had made the point, when I had seen it the first time, that like, man, I thought it was gonna be like a commercial for Monkey Paw Productions or like a production logo or something. Like I didn't think it was actually part of the movie. So so I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, not this isn't a nope moment. This is a what moment?
It kind of like felt like a short film.
Yeah, its own short film, little shorts, like Pixar shorts before the movie. But like he was saying, a better idea for an intro of this movie could have been Storm Chasers or something like that, like the movie Twister, where it's like these guys are like chasing weather phenomenon, or it starts off with like news footage of like weird clouds or something and disappearances or something, and then these storm chasers are like, they see this tornado pick up like some cows or something in the distance, and then they go investigate it, and it turns out like they die. Like, the camera would be from the perspective of the alien, and it would like kind of zoom down and eat them, but you wouldn't know how they died. You wouldn't know that they got sucked up. You wouldn't even know that they were abducted. You would just know that a tornado, like a lot of dust was swirled up, so obviously something is nearby doing something, but you wouldn't know exactly what was going on.
So the monster alone is very unique and different, and I guess you can say his focus on his themes and the messages of the film are unique to, like, I get the point. But, like, I understood what the themes and messages were, and that was, like, kind of the main focus of the film. This whole, the introduction with the monkey and how you can't tame
nature and stuff.
You can't tame nature, and, but man, as soon as I found out it was alive, I'm like, I kind of wish it was not a traditional
monster.
A traditional monster flick. Like, in a way, it's respectable that he, you could clearly say, yeah, this is a Jordan Peele film. But a part of me like wishes it was more taking more seriously, and more of
the comedic aspect did not need to be as heavy-handed as it was.
I think a good...
I mean, not heavy-handed, but it wasn't even like, it was so... It's just like matter-of-fact humor. It's like, all right, I get it. Like, the whole cast is black. They can say things that black people can say. You're not black. Of course, you're never going to say things like that, and you're going to laugh because you would never say or do things like that.
I will say that, all the humor, I didn't laugh at a lot of it, and I think I laughed more at things that... There was one particular scene, I don't know if you want me to say the scene that I, like, hysterically laughed at.
Which one?
Where the freaking cinematographer...
killed himself.
Yeah. I just died of laughter. That was the funniest thing ever.
I'm gonna go get that shot. Yeah. All right, so after... We'll get to that. Okay. So after the monkey intro, right, we get introduced to the family, right? Did you know that the first black man on a motion picture was a black man, or was a black man on a horse type crap? And you meet Daniel Kaluuya's OJ, who we're bringing it back, and Keke Palmer's I forget what her name is, but I always forget the sister's name, but for what they are, I guess, being in this film, they don't really do that much. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that they should win Emmys.
Yeah, they're not given a whole lot to work with, but
they don't have enough substance to show like who they really are. Like, you got Daniel Kaluuya, like literally.
Not to say that they didn't act well.
They acted well. Like, the eyes. Daniel Kaluuya's eyes acted better than him. But yeah, like he was, his father trained him to train horses, and like he's this negative, melancholic kind of guy. And then you have the sister who, when they're at the starting scene with them, pretty much their father dies, right? And he has a coin fall in his eye, and I guess that's the whole like horribleness of money. He died by the money. They killed off the best actor in the movie within the first 5 minutes. But right after that, his demeanor doesn't really change. Of course, you would assume he's going through some stuff because he lost his father. But the daughter comes in out of nowhere. Like, you don't see her until she shows up for that interview for this commercial, and it's like, what does she do? Like, she doesn't have any money to help out with buying the camera system. She doesn't necessarily have a job to go back to. When the monster throws up on their house later, she doesn't even leave. Like, I can understand she's like, oh, I'm gonna stay here for my brother, but it's like, you ain't even got other shit to do. Like, you're just like, all right, I guess we're gonna stay.
Yeah, the themes, like you said, it had a lot of great themes and style. It was shot well, it was acted well. I just wish the depth in character development was... I just wish there was more focused on, I guess, just survival. And like, I'm a big fan of War of the Worlds. I love that film, and I kind of wish it was more of a survival situation. But the main focus was they were trying to make money, and
we're gonna shoot this alien and make a fucking shit.
And so some people will like that, because it's like, oh, it's realistic. People, they are about fame, and that is what the whole point of the film is. Is like, fame is, what people will do, to what lengths they will go, But it's also the underdog, right? Them being horse ranchers, and how people say, they get the recognition of, I guess the homage to crew. To
crew people, oh gosh.
But yeah. I think he just messed up on the storytelling. The storytelling is what kind of fell apart. Like, there was too many coincidences. Things didn't add up on his lore of the monster itself.
So like, right after pretty much the father dies, and the movie's like kicked into, like, the movie starts, right? I mean, everything that you don't really, people say that it's a horror film, it's a thriller. I mean, nothing really thrilling happens till like halfway into the movie, but the movie is set up into these weird chapters, right? So the first chapter is Ghost, and that's when, again, like he says, the lore of this creature is supposedly established. But there's really nothing that gets established. It's just there. And the dad says, like, there's a ghost out there. He literally just says it. There's a ghost out there, and, the horses know. And he's just like, and it's like, how long has this creature been there? Again, are there more of them? Where did it come from? Yeah, does it even have weaknesses? Like, could they have even killed it if it wasn't for the coincidences that the whole end of the movie was filled with? I mean, there was nothing that set up this creature to be a spectacle or to be a threat even. I mean, I guess it's a threat because it's alien. Yeah. It's a UFO. It's unidentified, but it didn't have... I mean, even the mist was scarier, and it was just mist. You knew there was something in the mist, but when the mist would come in, in the movie The Mist, you'd be like, or in the fog even, you'd be like, oh no, the fog is coming. And you knew something was going to happen when the fog came. In this, it was like, okay, well, I see it. It's in the cloud. It's there. What's it going to do? It's not doing anything. I mean, even at the end when when they put all the wacky waving out. It's like it didn't. Like it's. I mean, I understand that it realized that it was kind of caught in a trap, but it's like, man, this was the first time it was ever caught in a trap before.
So yeah, UFOs are obviously going to be mysterious and very interesting. I love the way it moved in the sky. In the beginning, I did like...
Yeah, it was totally Jaws in the sky.
Yeah, it was totally Jaws in the sky. And that was... like, I was intrigued. Especially with the screams, finding out about the screams. Mm-hmm. Like, I definitely have favorite moments that we'll get to. And, so yeah, the ghost introduction was just the dad, talking about,
Like, it's like, I mean, of all the times they've been there, like, they just never noticed. Never had to deal with it before. Never lost a horse.
Yeah, I guess it is implied that, was the Asian character?
Steven Yeun.
Steven Yeun's character. It is implied that he's probably been feeding this thing. Yeah,
for like months.
For quite some time, right?
Yeah. So no one noticed.
Yeah, I don't know. No one noticed that he was feeding this thing.
Yeah. So then, pretty much at this point, we go into Clover, where this is when, shortly before you finally see it, and it's interesting because right before you actually start to the scene where they finally decide to like show you stuff is right after the scene where they have the kids do like the best scare in like the entire get out of there the best scare in the entire movie, when the kids scare them in the horse stables or whatever. Like, that was honestly the best part for me. I mean, it was the whole theater erupts every time.
Yeah, the kids
teasing him or whatever.
Yeah, the kids are dressed up as aliens, and it's a moment in the film where you think it's gonna go one way, because in the I only saw the first commercial, but in the first commercial it was like, oh, it's you don't know what it is in the sky, so him showing aliens, it's kind of like, oh, cool, it is an
alien movie.
It's gonna be an alien flick, and the aliens, the way they moved.
Oh, perfect.
It was in the shadows, so you could not really tell, but
it's peeking over the corner, like.
So it was something. He did a twist there, and I think
he tried to pull the M. Night Shyamalan twist for sure.
I'm kind of glad that we got the monster idea.
Instead.
I didn't mind the switch. It's just he focused so much on the themes itself, and so it didn't give enough for the monster to really shine. Mm-hmm. So is Clover the moment, or is it Gordy the moment where the film starts to pick up?
I think it's the Gordy, because so right after. I think
what happens at the end of Clover?
I think I got it mixed up. I think Gordy might come first. Because I think the guy, I don't remember if they show Gordy after they show the creature the first time. When they show the creature the first time, I don't think it's killed.
I guess if people don't know, the director separated the film in
chapters.
And chapters, and there, I guess, names of horses, or I don't...
Yeah.
I guess there are some connections with the names.
Mm-hmm. But it's so weird to have it where he's trying to like break down he's trying to make the film into chapters, like it's all of a sudden like a Quentin Tarantino film, or like it's like a I don't know, like a Guy Ritchie movie, and you have to make people wonder, like, what does this word mean? Why is this coming up now? But so speaking of why do things mean, right? I think it is before the alien shows itself. Steven Yeun has like his whole memorabilia thing of the whole Gordy incident, and the Gordy incident is like I said, that is the first scene in the movie. So you're kind of like, why does the film start out this way? It's so random. So when they pay it off in the middle of the movie, all randomly, and they kind of explain to you what happened, it so disconnects you from like the current threat. It's like, this is a monkey, and it's a CGI'd monkey at that. It's like,
it's pretty CGI monkey.
It's horribly CGI'd monkey. So it's like, even if you want to just throw these,
it is a horrifying thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say I would rather watch a movie on that whole incident. Like if the cops came in and the monkey's like dodging the bullets and like killing the cops.
Oh no, they fucking blasted that thing.
Right? They shot it straight in the face. But I'd rather see a movie or like a 5-episode Netflix series on like called, like if Jordan Peele directed a Netflix series, 4-episode limited series called Gordy, and the last episode was that episode, and it like it's like the first 3 episodes are like the show itself. And then maybe during the credits, it's like the film crew, like, all right, everybody, that was a wrap. Good episode. And then the last episode is the accident. So it turns into like, the making of movies and like Paranormal Activity, where all of a sudden it's like the camera's shaking and like the monkey's killing everybody. And then like someone else is running and like the cameras fall. And so it's like the cameras are fixed, seeing all this carnage happen. Because, I mean, all this stuff, you have to imagine that there's a bunch of people there in the audience. You have all the staff. Where's the security? This is a movie set. This isn't just like a park, or like there should be like steps to take if this was to happen. Like it should never have gotten this far. But that's all. That's just me ranting about the idea of that even being possible. But yeah, so Steven Yeun's character has this whole flashback, and I feel like it just doesn't really help with the movie themes, regardless of what themes he has. There's a fucking floating shoe. That's just floating.
That is the main
theme of the film.
That is the main theme of the film. Of you cannot tame. Oh, that's a very big theme of the film. You can't tame nature. You have this character. That's like kind of like half the plot.
Mm-hmm.
He got so much focus on that side plot. You're right. It does kind of take you away from the current situation that they're in. But the current situation isn't really about survival. It's they want to make money and get this thing on. They want to get this thing on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the obsession with spectacle, and
wanting to monetize
the spectacle, even if it's traumatizing, even if it's horrible. And so you have this character who,
and even so, yeah, they make that whole point of Steven Yeun, when he brings her into the room, he's like, oh yeah, someone paid me like $50,000 to sleep in here. It's like, Jesus. $50,000, huh? $50,000. All right. Maybe 500, maybe 1,000 even, but 50,000. I mean, okay. All right, Jordan. All right. But yeah, so that whole bit was just so, just WTF the whole time. Like, why is this in here? And
he spent too much. He spent so much time on there. It takes you away. Yeah, it does take you away from the current situation, but you obviously understand the point. It's very on the nose, and like, oh, I get it. But I guess it does lead to like a favorite scene of one of my favorite scenes of the film. Is, you have Steven Yeun's character, like, fucking check out this alien, and he gets everyone on a ride.
Right after that, so the whole point is that Steven Yeun, he lived this horrible tragedy. He saw this monkey like kill everybody, so he runs this little rodeo, and he apparently has been feeding this alien for months, and he's going to showcase the alien and like make a show out of it, thinking that this alien is going to just come and eat a horse and not everybody. Or remember, you don't know that it's an alien. You assume, you don't know it's a monster. You assume it's an alien. And even, what does he call them? The viewers? So it's like, I call them the viewers. So you immediately start thinking like, okay, it's going to be like an alien. And in the trailer, they show the scene with the girl.
There's a reason, obviously, the theme. Why does he call the alien... The viewers.
I mean, because of the big hole in the bottom. He thinks it's like an eye. Like just watching over us.
It's a giant camera hole.
Yeah, like it's just like, like the media even. They're just viewing us. It's the media. They just want to view. Everyone wants to view. So I call them the viewers. But in the trailer, there's that scene of the girl with her like face all messed up, and me, like I had said, I really thought it was gonna be like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, aliens trying to make themselves look like human and just not doing a good job, to where you're like, obviously that's an alien, but nah, it turns out to be the victim of the monkey attack. And the monkey in that scene, like Gordy is like beating the crap out of this girl, and it makes you think, how the hell did she survive? Like, there's no way. Like, he beats her and he's like covered in blood. Like, you wouldn't assume that she's gonna just be okay. I don't care if she's in a wheelchair or what. But so in that scene, like you say, like she comes, they show her finally, and I'm thinking like, oh my god, this is it. They're gonna start showing the aliens, and then I'll just let you take it off because this is your favorite scene.
Oh, this is one. Yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes. The alien gets upset, and I think it's because before
he eats horse, the flag horse.
Before he shows up, the brother and the two main characters are like, they want to make money off this thing and get it on camera. So they set up their house with a bunch of cameras, and then they put a decoy for this thing to eat, and whatever they gave him a bunch of, for whatever the established lore is, it can't eat flags
and hard plastic items.
Hard shit.
Because it can't eat. Just skin. Only skin. Skin and organs, because it poops out all their bones later. So only skin and organs.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, it can't break down anything else.
And so they put this decoy, and this thing eats.
It's like a giant plastic horse, like a horse statue.
This thing eats it. I don't think they show it eating it.
Remember it picks it up, and then he's like, "Oh shit." Because he goes out there, and then his horse runs away. That's that whole scene where the horse is booking it, and then he's running. And
that's in Clover.
That's in Clover. Yes. No. Yes. That's in Clover. Yes. That's when it's flying down. And then he's in the barn, and it like almost gets him. Yeah.
Okay. So he eats this decoy, and man, I love the design. I like how it looks like a sombrero. It looks like a giant sombrero. I love the way it moves, and I like it sometimes looks like a cloud. So it comes in, and freaking Steven Yeun figures out that he's like, oh, they're early. They're showing up early, guys. They're he's like, I don't know why they're showing up early. Everyone doesn't really. All the people there are not as astonished as I would have liked them to be, because I'm like, if I was there, I'd be like, holy fuck.
Yeah, right? Like, oh, man.
And so yeah, they're not as hyped as like
you would assume.
But yeah, this thing comes and it just sucks the whole place up and like eats everybody. And
that's the scene where everyone's getting sucked into its body like a snake, almost like it just eats them whole. And then they're just getting sucked into this tube. But the scene literally lasts maybe a minute of them going up. And you're just like, oh my gosh.
I absolutely love that part. And just hearing everyone. That's when you find out that all the screams earlier in the film were of people being...
People, horses, creatures, whatever it is that it's eating. It's just screaming.
And... he didn't stay in there too long, so he left it for your imagination, and
that was one of the things I want to talk about. We had this idea of so you're telling me that none of these guys none of these fathers had pocket knives on them, right? No one had a pocket knife where they could how you say it, where you got the sails on a ship in the movies and they stab through the sail and they slide down. You're telling me someone couldn't stab it and slide out of it and tear it open and be like, what the fuck is this thing? Yeah, fall from a billion, obviously they'd be in the skies, they fall from thousands of feet and then they would die, they wouldn't make it, but just to be able to get out of it, they should have showed, or just,
Yeah, he did leave it for the imagination, but that was a horrifying a moment that the focus of the film was not from there. I can say it's not horror. It was never the focus was never it. They had horrifying aspects.
Mm-hmm.
It had mysterious aspects, but it was never the focus of the whole film. So it was just those moments that I like really liked. And I wished, fucking some guy freaking pulled out the knife, cut his way through. Maybe he would have fell out, landed on his neck, and just just broke every bone in his body.
But at least he would have made it out. It would have just added some substance to just people trying to fight this thing. Like, instead of it just literally being just this OP beast of a cloud.
He does do a moment where I think he consumes, makes everyone shut up inside his body.
Oh yeah, they're like squeezes himself or something.
I guess he just crushes everybody.
Yeah, like probably the muscles or something. Just like yeah, they're like ah, and then just stops.
So maybe the people are just in terror because they're stuck in this thing. But I really would have liked more of horror aspect. So I would have liked, anything that's digesting something is like there's acid involved. Mm-hmm. There's maybe
that's what I'm saying. People getting fused or something, decomposing.
Something alien. Yeah, I love the thing. It's like one of my favorite horror films. Yeah. I would have loved it. Maybe fusing people together. Maybe fusing people infusing its skin with the flesh of the creature, whatever it was. Yeah, it would have added so much more of a horror element. Like, if he really wanted this movie to be horror, there was a lot of things he could have done to the creature just to give the creature more either A, personality, or B, like we say, just make the threat more imminent. Because it's like, all right, we get it. It's already a threat because it's a UFO, it's unidentified, it's messing with these people for the first time. But since it only deals with the brother and sister, and, everybody else that it kills, it pretty much kills. It just the only person that it doesn't kill is the freaking Best Buy kid when he wraps himself in which I thought was the smartest scene in the entire film, when he wraps himself in the barbed wire and the tarp, and he literally is able to save himself from being eaten. But then they never show him again, so it was what it was. But it kind of feels like it definitely a 2020. Definitely a current time film. Yeah. And if it was something made in the 80s and the 90s, maybe it wouldn't have as much focus on the themes that it had focus on. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, the technology, he wouldn't have been able to make the spectacle of... Because it was shot well, the alien looked badass, right? I guess it was...
Yeah, I mean, it's just... when it shows... Okay, so... So we'll go ahead and go into the climax. So, I mean, like he was saying, when you find out that the creature like eats everybody, and you find out that it's no longer a UFO, it's actually an alien monster. It throws up all the people on the house that they're living in.
Love that. That's
so it just rains. It rains on the house like bones and car keys and wallets and shit. Which is how the dad died in the beginning, like the initial throw up, I was like, all right. I mean,
the tension after that scene of he makes it, so the main character, or the brother, makes it to OJ. OJ makes it to the car.
It's horrible. I got a white girlfriend and I can remember OJ, and I can't remember the girl's name. Damn it.
The OJ makes it to the carnival place where everyone gets eaten, and
to save his horse.
And he almost gets sucked up and gets knocked out unconscious from the alien. That I'll give it to the director, or I give it to Jordan, that he has the potential for tension building. Yeah. He has all the potential is there.
It's just he can't deal with the racism. It's too much racism.
So he wakes up and he tries to go back to his house with his horse, and he on the drive there, the sister is in the house with another side character, the Fry's guy. Yeah. Oh yeah, Fry's Electronics. Fry's Electronics guy, which I thought he was the only character who kind of had like a genuine take and reaction of the events that were unfolding.
And that was another thing I would have liked when he finds out that, like, oh, you know, your guys' cloud hasn't moved. You know, it would have been nice to be like, oh, maybe this kid, you know, this character, because he didn't really do much except, like put the cameras up and at least have genuine reactions. But it would have been cool if he was the one that did the research, looked up like weather phenomenons or like immovable clouds and missing people, and was able to be like, hey, in other parts of the world, there's other things where like people have noticed like clouds not moving or whatever, and then like groups of people or livestock disappear, and it would have gave you a sense of at least fear that this could be going on somewhere else, because there was at no point in the film did you think at all that there were multiple of these things. Like, it just so happened that one of these creatures made it through one of the multiverses and just fucking showed up here, and unfortunately it's been here for like however long, and just now decided to like show itself, you know.
Yeah. So that scene of it coming and like
almost killing him,
pooping on the house,
yeah.
and pretty much all the blood that rains down on the house. The slowdown of what he does with music, because it, you know.
After that, yeah. I wear my sunglasses and strong.
He does.
That was pretty sick.
He does cool.
That was a good scene.
The whole sequence was really. I really enjoyed it.
That's when he realizes that he shouldn't look it in the eye, because he has a little flashback of like the horse seeing itself's reflection. So he's like, "Oh shit." He's like hitting his leg. Come on. That was a good tension scene too, for sure.
It was kind of the whole thing is coincidences. Like, don't look at it. Oh, don't look at. It just goes with the themes of, you know, don't look at spectacle, and, you know, obviously we're gonna want to look at freaking an alien in the sky. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, and it's, I looked at it and dead now. All right, so that pretty much they're able to get away, and then they're like, all right, you know, we're gonna get this on footage now. So this random director guy that was helping him out with the commercial earlier in the movie, he finally decides like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna help you guys. So he comes over, and they head back to the house, and they get all this shit set up to get this alien on camera. And then they do the last chapter of the film, which is Jean Jacket, because they name the alien Jean Jacket, and they establish in the middle of the movie that the brother, Daniel Kaluuya's character, was like favored by his dad, by their father maybe, because it's just he's better at training horses, and her horse that the sister had was named Jean Jacket. So I'm assuming it's like, all right, well, this girl ain't got no job, she ain't got no shit to do, so he's like, I'm just gonna name this horse after the horse that you didn't get to train. Because Pops trained me instead of you. So you're gonna be, this alien is for you. If any of us die, this is all on you. We're naming it your horse. And they go out there, they get everything set up, and she steals, like, his sister is a stealer. She is a thief. She steals Steven Yeun's horse, and then she goes to the car dealership or whatever and steals all the wacky waving inflatable arm-flailing tube men. And she's just like, fuck y'all, I'm gangster. This is some nigga shit. She's like, what? I guess, what is it? If it's under $1,000, you can't. It's not a crime.
So yeah, that whole climax and not really thoroughly explained. They kind of just go about it and just do it. And, like, you're kind of like, well, it's creative in a way, with the whole wacky inflatable. But what I thought, I was like, a wacky inflatable tube man, yeah, they look, but they're that looking of a direction is not going to be the same all the time. They're fucking
so that's what I'm saying. You would think, but then what? Like, even how they say, like, oh, it doesn't like flags. It's like the wacky waving doesn't look like a flag. So it's like, how smart is this creature? Like, can it really not tell that it's not a flag? Because, like you said, yeah, it could be looking at it 1 minute, and then if it looks away, technically it should attack it, but it doesn't. And there's so many of them that it's like, all right, I guess that's why it actually comes into the valley and, like, shows itself, because it's just like, what the fuck? You're looking at me, but you're not. But it's like, what are they? I mean, I guess, this creature is so dumb. Like, mentally, like, this creature is dumb. Like, it doesn't have much of a thought process. All it notices is eyes or reflections. But so they're in there. They get all the cameras and everything. They're getting all their footage set up. The director guy, and their plan is to draw it out so they can get it on camera, and just get the footage. And of course they do. I mean, it flies down. It makes it's a spectacle of itself, and the brother has like flags attached to his horse, so he's running away, and it's about to suck him up, and then he releases the flags, and the creature like, oh no, flags, oh shit, and like pivots, and they're able to get like the best shot, or not even a shot, because they're filming, so they actually film the creature. They actually get it on film. It's not a picture. They actually get it on film the first time.
So the lore that's been established, this thing is like fucking moved so fast. It's so ridiculously, it's fucking badass. And then he's able to run away on a horse, and it doesn't catch up.
It can't catch him.
It can't catch him because the horse is badass, and it just gets away. I'm like,
or like when she's on the motorcycle and she rides away on the motorcycle, it's like
this thing is fucking super fast.
Yeah, like how does she just get away? Like there's a scene where this TMZ guy comes in out of nowhere. Another scene of just random plot additives, and this guy shows up in this reflective helmet.
Theme additives.
He shows up in this reflective helmet, of course, and he's like from TMZ or something, some paparazzi, and he rides out into where the creature is, and of course there's this whole joke, what happens when an electric bike hits a magnetic field, and the guy gets like launched off his bike, and the alien comes, and as Daniel Kaluuya is trying to rescue him, he realizes, oh shit, you're gone, dude, I'm sorry, and the alien just kills him, and it's at that moment that like pretty much off screen, they don't even have Jordan Peele doesn't even have the nerve to show it transform, but off screen, the alien literally turns into this giant flower monster angel thing.
Loved it.
It was, like I say, it was like an angel on a Christmas tree. Like you have a Christmas tree and you have like the angel on top. That's exactly what it looked like, but stretched out.
I was fascinated. It looked like to me it was like a space squid, a space jellyfish.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so yeah, no, you're right. I'll get into it afterwards. Yeah, no, continue.
So it was like a space jellyfish. I really loved the design. It was very mysterious, and it was like a fleshy fucking
blanket.
It was so mysterious and cool and like a spectacle. But like you said, it kind of just hovered there, and it was, I guess, upset because of these people were like
messing with it, pretty much
messing with it, and like he wasn't able to mess with them because all these wacky, inflatable people, and two men stopped them from being able to to get the climax. The climax itself, it was exciting. It was cool, but it's just. I didn't like. It felt like his other movies where it was very focused on, like, I just wish it was more about survival. I wish it was more of a classic monster movie, because yeah, you had this TMZ guy who, honestly, it was funny for him to die, and I understood the joke of like TMZ people
trying to get into the thick of it. That's what happens.
That's what happened. That's what TMZ. So it was funny. It was on the nose. But it kind of makes the movie full of itself when it comes to, like, it beats you on the head with these messages of like I like, these are things that I think universally people are like, you know what, I appreciate what you're saying in the film, but on the storytelling level, it's like, man, if it was just a classic monster flick and it was about survival, kind of like, War of the Worlds, where they're trying to survive, and it was taking...
And it involved maybe a little bit more people, or just other groups of people trying to survive or get attacked.
Yeah, like in a monster movie, you have Jurassic Park, whatever, you have sequences where, they're getting taken out, but there's only really one sequence where it sucks up all those people, and then
that's it.
That was the only sequence we got of the monster being able to do its thing. But if you did a slow build up of the film of like it takes more people out. Then it takes more people out.
Mm-hmm.
Then it evolves into that jellyfish and takes even more people out. And like just build up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and have that ending sequence instead of them being, I don't know. I just wish it was took it more seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and it was more of like. We got to make money.
Yeah, no, because right after that, like, so after the TMZ guy dies, like, the sister tries to, like, lift the bike, and she's like, she's, like, struggling. She's really struggling to lift that bike, and then she fucking just gains all the energy in the world to lift it. Somehow rides away. And the creature, again, like we were saying, he already established the lore of this creature, that it's so fast and it's able to dart around the sky, that how does it not catch up to her? How does it stay? Why does it stay in its state? I understand even if it feels threatened and it's in its attack mode, but it's like, come on, guys, like you like, this creature is dumb. That's why I say mentally dumb, because it won't revert into easier versions of itself to take out obvious threat to itself. Like, so she rides the bike into the carnival, and they already established in the very beginning of the movie, when they go to the carnival, the little rodeo, and they meet Steven Yeun's character, that this is her first time being there in like years. Like, they changed it and it's like a new place. And so she rides her bike in there, and she does the now famous Akira slide, which is just like so sad. I'm really glad he didn't make an Akira live action. It probably would not have been good. But she does the Akira slide all easy, even though she barely could freaking lift the bike up. And then she releases the giant rodeo balloon like it was nothing. Like it was literally being held on by toothpicks, you know?
Yeah, she didn't have the strength to lift the bike, but then she's super powerful to lift the harnesses or the
ropes,
thing holding down the freaking looks like freaking. You need a couple people to
at least a couple people to like strap it down, let alone unstrap it without like breaking your arm.
Yeah,
you know, because you got to realize, when she did the first one, that means the next three were even tenser. When she does the next one, the next two are tense. She does the last one, that one should have snapped her arm off, or like took her arm with it.
That would have been cool.
That would have been pretty sick. Your arm gets ripped off. Like, that's the whole, like, that's like the ultra climax, is because she's like armless trying to take the photo with because after that, you know, she releases the balloon, and the alien like looks at the balloon thing, and it starts to have like a square off dance with it. Like, it's like, what are you doing, son? What you doing in my territory? Because this is like, I guess, the first time it's seen something remotely its size in comparison, so it's obviously freaking the fuck out. But it's like, it would have been cool if at that moment, like, her arm got ripped off and she's laying there like, oh yeah, I could take a picture. But it's like, she's sitting there like taking the picture thing as it's going up, and she's like struggling to take this photo and to turn the wheel each time. So it would have been cooler if she had to do it with one hand. I think it actually would have looked a lot cooler for sure. But so then it goes up, and it's like, yeah, it's like what, having its little square off, and it decides to eat it. So I know Alex is here saying that he loves the creature design. I will say that the creature design was okay, but I really liked the scene right after, and as it's eating the balloon, it takes it into its body, and it flies away all fast. It does its super speed like it should have done up until that point. So it takes it and it flies away, and it does this really cool little flipping version where it does look like a jellyfish, and it's trying to suck up the balloon caricature thing. But so in the beginning of the film, I had pointed out where it was funny, where when it actually shows Nope, and it's the title sequence of the movie and like the credits and all that in the beginning, it actually shows the interior of the alien, and it's kind of like, you don't realize it until the end, but that's what that is. So at the ending, when it's trying to eat the balloon, you would just assume that this thing is just super intelligent. It has to be some type of intelligent creature to, like, you know, it's been living here for countless years, however long, you never know. So obviously it has to be smart. And it freaking eats this balloon and literally just pops.
Oh man, that was the worst, man. that killed a lot for me. I was so I don't know, man. I was sad. It kind of just
deflated the whole film.
Yeah, it reminded me of what the film was doing. It was like, wow, look at the.
Oh my god, this scene is so. Whoa, those kids! It's aliens! Ah, it's a little kid. He just sucked a kid. There was no guts, no organs, no blood, nothing. It was just, and it just wisped. Like, I want to know how it became a cloud. How is it even able to take shapes of a cloud? You know, like
let's just make our own take. You know, like it's like. Okay, I understood what he was going with. Like, remember I told you the War of the Worlds, the aliens die by germs. In signs, they're weak to
water.
They're weak to water. So this thing eating a balloon and dying makes sense for it because it's like we don't know what the fucking jellyfish monsters is like.
All that air was like.
You know, it's like not believable because it's like, oh yeah, a fucking alien would die from a balloon. Like, we don't understand the mechanics of this creature, you know, it's freaking alien. Like, so it is believable, but man, anticlimactic so bad. It was like.
And the fact that the movie just kind of ends after that. There's no closure, there's no talk about it. Like, she gets the photo, of course, like by chance she's able to get the photo at the end, and then she doesn't even do anything with it. She like walks away from it. You know, it's like there's no closure of the FBI even or showing the police. You know, like that's why I had said, like, if at least Daniel Kaluuya's character died if he had to die for her to get away on the bike, it would have been cool if then, you know, the ending scene is her like all bloodied, like maybe she lost her arm because she was able to release the balloon thing or whatever, and then she has to then show the police like, oh, look at this photo.
We're us being fans of horror, we definitely, the most horrific film, the thing in the film was when the people were sucked in and the whole Gordy sequence.
Well, no, and the kids.
And the kids.
Because the Gordy sequence, I wouldn't even say was horror. Like, there was no point in that I felt like I would be scared of this. Even at a young age, I would just be like, oh, wow, it's a monkey hitting someone. You can't even see them. Like, the couch was in the way.
It's not horror, it was a horrific.
A horrific. Yeah, it was more horrific. Yeah, so it's like, that's why I say, if he would have made a show called Gordy, like Jordan Peele, if you're watching this, make a show called Gordy, 4-episode limited series. The first 3 episodes are Gordy episodes, and in the ending, in the credits, have it be the crew like, all right, that was great, like, you know, that's a wrap, and like the monkeys on the shoulders of like the chimp trainers or something, and like, you know, like a behind the scenes. And then the last episode of it would be that monkey attack, and then make it look super brutal, super scary, R-rated, you know, the monkey ripping in the guts or whatever, eating some chick's face, do whatever you want to do, but like putting it in the film like that wasn't.
He's all about the message, man. He's all about the themes.
Well, yeah, make it a white monkey, make it an albino monkey, and then, you know, when you make the movie backwards, make it an albino monkey and a black family. But the black family ends up killing the monkey, but the monkey kills the entire production company. The entire crew gets killed, but the black family ends up like taking out the white monkey.
So the beginning sequence and the ending sequence go together with the balloon pops and the monkey freaks out and kills everyone. And then in the end, the monster gets killed by a balloon.
Wow! I mean, I didn't even put that together.
So as soon as the pop it pops off. Sequel.
Okay, so I think that again, we need more.
I guess before sequel talk. Themes over substance, for sure.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Too many themes.
So much themes, we get it, but when it comes to storytelling, you missed a lot of opportunity to give more depth. You only gave depth to Steven Yeun, and it was filled with that one message, and we get it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are gonna, like, it's just an opinion. Like, people, like, if someone loves this movie, it's like, yeah, that's
they're gonna like it, just for the sake of,
like,
oh,
these
it's so
are
true.
These themes are themes are like
valid.
real,
They're valid, yeah,
and they are. But I just, like, for me, on a storytelling level,
it
needs to be more.
Just horror aspect of, like, saying you're making a horror thriller. Like, that's not. You can't make a horror movie and then make it like, oh, wouldn't that be scary? It's like, well, no, like, make it scary. Don't, like, wonder, like, oh, imagine if a monkey killed everybody on set. It's like, what? Like, I mean, I guess, is it, like, possessed?
Yeah, like remember when you said what's his name, the guy who made Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
like if this was in the hands of Sam Raimi,
like, okay, so Jordan Peele wrote, directed, and produced this film, so no one was there to tell him nope. Maybe if throw in some good horror directors, someone like Sam Raimi, have them collab. If Sam Raimi would have taken director roles with this, maybe it would have been a lot better. I mean, come on, the monkey was CGI'd. You could have had the monkey killing and, like, ripping somebody's limbs off if you wanted. And beating somebody up, someone up. Apparently, there's, like, multiple chimps, they say, right? Because they said, like, one of the chimps. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hypothetically, there could be, like, 3 chimps on set that are, like, fucking everything up together. It's like the 3 Stooges of chimps, and they're just, like, killing everybody. Oh, my God!
We didn't talk about how the cinematographer character.
Oh yeah, his death.
His death.
Your
was
other
like,
favorite scene.
So everyone was laughing throughout the whole film of just how the quirkiness of the sister. Mm-hmm. Everyone kind of, like, really liked her sister, which I would agree. Like, she was a standout. She acted it very well, but she kind of reminded me of Chris Tucker, and she was very animated and, like, but all the humor wasn't really landing because, like you said, it kind of felt like reactionary humor, and, like, of course you're gonna laugh to this because it's like I don't know.
It's too tropey almost.
Yeah.
It's just like, nope. Oh, it's like, I mean, yeah, it's funny.
So like, some people it will hit. Obviously, in the theater that I was in, it was hitting for
the fries guy when he's like, ah, and when they first meet him and they're like, wait, what are you screaming for? And he's like, I just was freaking bored, like, or a bit of bad day, like, this girl broke up with me, and it's just like, bro, like, that, and, like, I don't care about that in this movie, no offense, like, I just didn't care, like.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna give me 5 stars, right? 5 stars. It's like, nah, motherfucker, you get 2.5, 3 at most. Like, never come here again. And then he, like, breaks into their ranch, and they're like, hey, it's illegal what you did here. He's like, yeah, but, like, did you see that cloud?
So things that I guess I laughed at that I don't know if other people laughed.
The director,
the cinematographer guy, his voice.
Oh yeah.
I loved his voice. He had such a
purple people eater, super purple people eater.
I could hear him talk a story or something.
Yeah,
really cool.
He would be good to do like voice acting or something.
I do my voice. His voice. I can't talk all day. He has a cool voice. They didn't give his character any backstory like Steven Yeun. If you would have gave that guy a backstory too of, like, why he wanted to,
get the perfect shot.
Because
he even says when they're talking to him, he's like, oh, the perfect shot, or, like, that perfect whatever is something you never wake up from. So it's like, well, at least tell us what his, like, maybe something that he went through.
Like, give him a flashback
too. Anything. Like, maybe when he was younger, or, like, one of his films, or, like...
Cut Steven Yeun's flashback and whole shenanigan thing. Mm-hmm. Cut that in half. Give some development to that character. And then also give a bit more with the brother and sister.
And, like, growing up or something. With the father.
Because, the sister didn't get as much love.
I mean, shit, they don't even talk about the mom.
Oh, yeah? No, but let's give it all to Steven Yeun.
But yeah, so then like you were saying, the director guy, he like commits suicide. Like they get the shot of the creature, they get the on film, which the film I'm assuming gets destroyed because it like comes over and does this little tornado shit around the film, so you would assume it gets destroyed. But then he goes out there and they're like, oh, he's going dark, he's going out there on the hill, and then it's like the aliens comes up to him and just sucks him up. And he gets it on film, and they establish that he created this whole little camera thing himself. So it's like even if the camera made it damaged, no one else would probably be able to repair it and get that film off of it. Like he just died for no reason. It was so sad, but so funny.
Oh yeah, his death, I was dying of laughter because he was just like his facial expression was like hilarious, and he since he had no backstory to him, he literally was just like, I'm gonna do this because I just fucking gonna do it. Man, I died of laughter. So that one, I felt like no one really laughed at that moment, and internally and outside, I was laughing. But the one that was an easy laugh for everyone was the TMZ guy. No, I need my camera.
Yeah, you're not gonna record this?
I need my
Where's
camera.
your phone?
But it went so much with the themes that I'm like, it's not. It kind of just on the nose humor.
Yeah, too on the nose. Like, of course you're gonna laugh, but at the same time, it made you as an audience member, like, I guess I would say the average audience member would be like, oh, well, no, bro, you don't need your phone. You're like, that's the reaction he wanted people to say. Like, you don't need your phone. But it's like, well, obviously they're laughing because everyone here would go for their phone if something like that happened. So you're laughing because you would do that if you were in his shoes, but he wanted that scene probably to make people want to get off of their phones, and it had the adverse reaction. But yeah, so like you're saying, sequel idea. I mean, shit, man. He says in the interview,
the sequel could be part 2 is usually everyone's favorite.
Nope.
So take away. Oh yeah, we make the name. What?
Yeah, we would call it what?
What? If he, let's say he makes a sequel, he takes away all the themes and literally makes a badass monster flick. So this alien thing, you know how everyone's fascinated and like it drops and more TMZ people show up and they're like, ooh, some shit happened here, and they all. What if like that thing's like starts breathing?
Like it's like, so after it pops, right? So it's popped and it's wisped and it just lands on the floor like a scarf.
Kind of like a scarf.
And then it just starts fixing itself together. Like it didn't actually die. It just kind of got like messed up a little bit.
Yeah, it got messed up a bit, and it's like it's breathing, it's healing. And then people are like, oh shit, that thing is still alive. Maybe it splits into like a bunch of mini fucking...
Oh man, yeah.
And
little face huggers.
Like what movie... Just do a complete 180 flip, and it's not themes over substance, and it is like it is a monster flick. What movie... Oh, you said The Living Dead. So the first Living Dead is more serious, and the second Living Dead is...
Evil Dead.
The Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
First Evil Dead's more serious, and the second one is comedic. So let's do a 180 on Nope, and where this one's like very heavy on themes, not so much character development.
More comedic than horrific. More comedic than horror, but more horrific than just scares.
Yes. And then just make the sequel like an actual like...
Horror movie. Or at least a genuine suspenseful monster flick.
Yeah.
Because I know people can maybe be like, oh, horror is too much.
Because a lot of the times people want to connect obviously the first one with the second one, but don't even like just
stay away from all the themes.
Just ditch
messaging.
Just ditch all of that and have fun with like fucking making it like
surviving him,
like a survival film. Yeah.
Yeah, no, hands down. That's why we say like the whole idea of the kid when he found out that it was a moving cloud, the Fry's kid. It would have been great if all they would have needed was like 5 minutes of him doing a montage, researching up YouTube stuff or Google or YouTube weather phenomenon things caught on camera, and finding a couple instances where there's been clouds that haven't moved and strange disappearances, because you don't want to do, obviously we're not doing crop circles, but like strange disappearances or like families gone missing on like camping trips or some shit, or like, you know, something that deals with the woods or whatever. And then him come to the house, see that the cloud isn't moving, and all of that shit that they just showed be immediately validated, and immediately like that's part of the lore. It exists somewhere else. There's a hive mind, or there's a mother alien somewhere just giving birth to all these shits, like that's even bigger, or, you know, because it gives you nowhere to go in terms of a sequel. So it's like, yeah, to have a sequel, I would definitely just want it to be more monster from start to finish. Monster.
Yeah. He that movie that was in this movie. It wasn't. Yeah. But I love the ideas, man. Like it on paper, I'm like, that's some badass stuff, and you have some cool ideas and sequences with the whole slowed down music, and it just, I feel like it was a lost opportunity. Of it could have been. So like on a scale of 10, I'm like, it's just right in the middle. It's just like 5. It's like, it's not horrible. I mean, I don't think I'd watch it. I think if I had the film, I'd skip to the people getting sucked up and just those handful of sequences.
Yeah.
And
I saw it. This is my second time watching it, because I told him I wanted him to watch it so we could do this video, and it's like, even watching it again, it's like I tried to like take it seriously. Because when I first saw it, I took it seriously, but I was let down. So going to watch it again and trying to take it seriously, it's like, I'm being let down in real time.
Oh yeah, I honestly, it was so. I didn't feel like the film took itself seriously. I think the themes and stuff were serious, and it's like the messaging was, I guess, you know, important and makes a lot of sense. But in terms of lore and like actual storytelling, I'm like, man, I'm a fan of lore films, and like films that I love. That thing is fucking horrific. Not finding out who, the original Among Us, you know. Mm-hmm. Like just, yeah, I wish it was on the horror side, man. And then I like how when we talk about this movie, like in our head, we would do so much sequences where it's like fucking
horror.
Like that guy who makes it out alive and fucking cuts open. That
would have been so good. Like, just all you needed is one person, like, just spend like 20 minutes on that scene with them getting sucked up, and just having one guy being like, nah, not going out like this. Freaking elbowing people and like punching a kid or something in there, like shoving someone up further and then pulling out a knife and just like tearing his way out of it. And like the creature being like, the creature's like freaking out. And then he like falls out of it, like you say, falls a couple thousand feet, breaks his neck, and then it just pans up back to the sky as the guy's like dead there twitching, and then the creature's like bleeding and then flies away.
What if you had that guy be the main character? So let's screw the carnival situation, and like just the movie starts off where, you know, like storm chasers or people in this small town who are like at a baseball game or you know, and then they see this thing in the sky and like, hey, you see that thing in the sky? What the fuck? It's not, I don't know what the fuck that is. And, you know, it
comes and eats everybody.
And the main character literally
loses his family. Like
loses
everyone.
Everyone in that, like, in his little small town fucking dies, but he makes it out, cuts through the inside, breaks all his bones and shit. But then he like wakes up in the hospital and like he's in a full body cast, and like he ends up like, or have a couple years pass by, and he's like the main character of like, I got my bones fixed and he's
breaks a leg and an arm, and they fix him up 1 year later, and he's just like, oh shit, I've been in a coma for a year.
He wakes up from a coma.
So when he wakes up, he's like, what? You've been in a coma, sir? Nope.
He's like, I don't remember so much, and then he gets a flashback of like,
being inside of the creature,
and everyone's like,
that'd be good. That'd be good.
You crazy? What are you talking about, creature, man? It's just, like they tell him that like
it was like a freak accident or something, like a tornado.
Yeah.
It was a hurricane.
It was a hurricane. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a solar flare.
So he goes back to investigate, and
that's when he, like you said, he gets like storm chasers or something.
He's like, I know there's something fucking out there. Oh, that town is now like deserted and like, and like no one.
Oh, it's got like Area 51, like the radiation. It's all like blocked off.
Oh yeah, no one's allowed in there, and
it's like quarantined.
So he goes to investigate with like a team. Yeah, I just wish it was more serious. Yeah. It was so straight up comedy.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what his next film is. I bet you his next film is probably going to be something ridiculous. It's going to be like a Western, or it'll be like,
Howdy, Pilgrim.
Like it'll be like a racist Western movie, or it'll be like a crazy like something in space. It's got to be something in space.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to talk about how we see Jordan Peele as a writer and a director.
Oh, I think we did. I think we did enough justice. We've talked for like almost an hour on this.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're a good guy, and I don't doubt your skills in movie making and filmmaking, but I do doubt your creativity when it comes to trying to not involve current day narrative bullshit in your films. I mean, you asked me what was my favorite Jordan Peele movie. Honestly, I would say Get Out, but Get Out was my favorite specifically. It was my favorite specifically because of the idea that it would never happen. Like, you can't tell me that black people are gonna like take black people and like make their bodies into conduits for their souls. Like, it's never gonna happen. So, of course, the idea is fantastic. It's like, it's super freaky, but it's, it would never happen. So, to make multiple of those types of movies is just kind of overkill. And us being, the Invasion of the Body Snatchers with black people was kind of just boring. It was whatever. It was just a second movie. But this being so hyped up and so, like, that black trope of like, oh, nope, that's what black people say. Nope. It's like, it just didn't do it for me. It was...
How do you like the acronym is supposed to be not of Planet Earth? Not of Planet Earth.
I don't think that was his idea. I think people made that up. I don't think that's what he actually made the movie stand for. I think that's what people, like what you were saying on the shoe, like the shoe being like just a spectacle on its own. It's like, nah, like that shoe was literally, that shoe made no sense.
People are creative. They put it to like that shoe. You know what that shoe represents? Just a balance. See, that shoe was being held up, and it was a miracle.
Well, it's a bad miracle
within a bad miracle. A miracle within a bad miracle. And yeah, see, people can put. They can get. That's what his kind of his films are about. Like, have fun with
Yeah, I'm gonna make this for you to decipher.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it as blank as I can, as lifeless as I can, and you give it the life. You
bring it to life.
You give it meaning, because what I gave you is meaningless. You need to give it meaning.
No, he gave meaning. He gave a lot of meaning.
He gave it too much meaning.
He gave so much meaning. He gave the majority of the film was meaning. But then at the same time, you like usually good storytelling is like, you get life lessons, or you know.
Mm-hmm. So you leave the theater with something, anything.
Yeah. And this one, you're kind of like, what did the characters learn.
You're like, it was definitely a movie. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been Ghost in the Craig. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and sharing or staying with us if you've made it this long of us just sharing our thoughts on this a little bit further. Like I said, I already made a review on it. It's a lot shorter than this because this is more of a discussion. So if you just want to watch that, you can watch that. But if you've watched this, of course, thank you so much. This has been Ghost in the Craig, and then this has, again, been the homie Alex. So thank you so much, man, for joining me on this and giving your thoughts on this.
Oh, no problem, man. It was fun.
And hopefully we'll review another one later on because, there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of movies coming out. I mean, the MCU alone has a slate that is just filled with the crap. And I'm pretty sure, our movie going days, unfortunately, will not be over anytime soon. So thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have a fantastic rest of your week. And you guys have a nice one. Peace.